Nightly Musers, followers of the pod, faithful few and hopeful many, this is Anchor by Spotify. If you haven't heard about it, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's the very platform that allows me to give you what I give you on the nightly. So let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And it gives you the ability to distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so much more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally FREE free. So here's where you come in. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That is ANCHOR.fm to get started. Thank you very much. Peace. Welcome, Nightly Musers. This is your host, Tinayeshe. Welcome to episode 51. 51! So, I just created my first GoFundMe ever, which is kind of wild and really exciting. I'm coming out with an EP with my friend Jordan Bailey. Shout out Jordan. He's gonna be my producer, basically. Not basically, like for real, he's gonna be my producer. We're creating a musical partnership together, and I'm really excited about it and excited to see where this goes. But part of that step of putting myself out there was having to raise funds, because these equipments and musics and things are not going to pay for themselves, and I'm broke. After rent and tithing, Lord, I'll be looking at my bank account after utilities as well, and I'm like, Lord Jesus, you're gonna have to make a way. And the memberships at the Y and all these things, trying to be healthy and whatnot, it is expensive. Life is just expensive right now. Gas, my goodness, like everything is just hitting you from all fronts. So I am currently in process. Like we're about to start pretty soon, and there's just a few things that we're trying to make happen, and so I'm excited, and it's gonna be great. But this is like a huge step for me, because I'm finally honoring the only career dream I really ever had outside of wanting to be a basketball player. Like, I can't fully say that I wanted to go to the NFL. Like, I was gonna go as far as football was gonna take me, but I didn't like have, Olympics aspirations for track. I was good, but I wasn't like, I knew where I stood at the time. And with football, it was like I was good, but I knew where I stood at the time. Like, I was probably going to get recruited by a D1 AA school, a small D1 AA school, a small D1, maybe if I'm lucky, or like a D2 school. That was like my trajectory. And I barely even got those. So, knowing that I didn't have the like wild, once that, I'm not going to say the word I was going to say. Once that jerk face of a former football player, I'll leave his name out of here because I don't know who he's connected to. But, it's no disrespect. I'm pretty sure it was Mike Minter. And my thing is, I was like 9 or whatever, and he came to our church to speak to our youth. And he wanted to ask us what our dreams were. And I raised my hand because I was bold at the time. And I said I wanted to be a basketball player. Granted, I think I might have been in 3rd grade. And he proceeded to analyze me. I mean, he ended up being accurate. But he proceeded to analyze where I was, my height, all this stuff, my physique. He's like, you're probably not going to make it. And I'm just like, I hear you, but also, screw you, dude. Like, I was 9. I wasn't even 9. I might have been 7 or 8. Like, get out of here with that mess. Like, who brought you over here just so you could crap on people's dreams? Anyway, I'm not bitter. I'm just saying some people need to get over themselves. And I understand that you made it. And he could have been making a point that I don't remember. But that's the point that I'm trying to make. People are not going to remember what you were trying to say after that. They're going to remember how you made them feel when you said the thing that made them feel small. And you don't know the repercussions of said things, because for me, one, that led to some other strife where I was getting pressured to figure out a realistic dream for my future. That's a conversation for another day. I was like 11, or I don't even remember how old I was. I definitely wasn't 11, but I was very young. And I was just like, in a space where I needed support and, hey kid, dream big, you're allowed to do that. That's not what I received. But anyway, today, Kennedy, and honestly that does play into Kennedy today, Tinayeshe today, is I struggle with putting myself out there. I've struggled with putting myself out there darn near my whole life. The only time that I ever boldly put myself out there was in 3rd grade. We had a choir instructor named Dawn Anthony. She was amazing. Black lady, changed the game. She was absolutely phenomenal. Outside of the true overarching relationships that I had with my other choral directors as a kid in high school and middle school and whatnot, she was like Sister Act level. Again, shy, bullied everyday kid, got the cojones to be getting up there and auditioned for a solo, and I killed it, and I got that solo, and unfortunately the recital ended up getting canceled. But I remember only Don Anthony could have gotten me to do that at that point in my life. I always knew I could sing, but I got up and I sang the part and I did my thing. And it didn't get me more friends, but it did show the world I put myself out there, and people were like, oh, Kennedy's like that, For y'all that don't know what like that means, he's that dude, I'm that guy. That's kind of what came from that moment. It was a space of generating confidence in myself. It was a duet, me and the girl who, she was Asia. I don't remember her last name, but she was phenomenal. She could sing, and this is us in 4th grade, so I'm thinking about this we were probably garbage. We were not garbage, but sometimes I listen back to my old recordings of me singing in high school, and I can't even do it. But anyway, all that being said, the only real career dream that I had was, again, at that Hillsong United concert in Charlotte my sophomore year. We went to it, and I thought to myself, that's what I want to do. I want to do that one day. I want to get up and play music, and again, I want to play Christian music, and I want to share this to the world. That was my dream. And I'm not saying that this EP is going to get me there, but what I do know is that never coming out with anything is for sure not going to get me there. And to be honest, it is about me being obedient to a call that I do think God has given me. I've been given the gift to write music, and I love it, and it's an intimate space for me, but it does provide a way for me to connect, to talk about pornography, to sing about mercy and grace. And yes, those are very general Christian terms, but when you've been through something, God's grace hits a little different. When you're actively fighting for freedom, when you're actively learning how to live in freedom and not in bondage and not in shame and not as one who is stuck without a way out, and you're learning to open your hands and trust that God loves you, and that salvation is not something that you deserve, but it's something that he freely gives you. When you realize and you receive that from a place of it hits different, when When you've done everything right and you've lived holy, that's great. But when you've done the deeds, you cheated on your wife, cheated on your wife with your best friend's wife or your friend's wife, and then you try to cover it up by getting your friend drunk, and then your friend was so loyal that he didn't even want to do that because his brothers were off to war, and you decided, well, I guess I just gotta, excommunicate the brother permanently. Like, he gotta go. Like, kill him. I'm talking David and Bathsheba. When you've got to that point and you experience God's grace, that he still can look at you and call you the apple of his eye, the one after his own heart, like, when you've experienced that type of grace, it is different. And you want to talk about it. You want to write Psalm 51. You want to be open with your life. And I am at a space where I don't know who it's going to impact. The same thing with this. It's the same thing with this podcast. I don't know who this podcast is going to touch. But like Timmy said, he gave me he pushed me and got me to a place where I realized, like, hey, this is worth doing. And somebody's going to listen to it one day and be able to chronicle an entire story of somebody achieving their weight loss goals, learning how to put themselves out there, talking about their insecurities, being honest and normalizing discussing a true, problem in our society, which is pornography. Like, hopefully they will see all of those things and see this is somebody who, one, loves Jesus, and two, wants to make an impact in this world with his voice, speaking and vocally, musically. So I made a GoFundMe. We'll be sharing the link. I guess I shared it today. I just outed myself. I am releasing this episode tomorrow. But, okay, this is dumb. I'm releasing this episode when it's going to get released. And at the point that this episode is released, I will have also made my GoFundMe. At least published it. So, I will be trying to just believe in God to give me the funds to make this happen, because man's got to eat, and this EP ain't gonna pay for itself. So here we are, taking steps. So here's 2 steps of faith and being honest or true to our childhood dreams. This makes me extremely happy, and I can't wait to see what comes of it. Peace. Shout out Lil Fly, because I don't think I said that, but shout out Lil Fly. Always shout out Lil Fly. Peace.